Across the African savanna, a pack of hyenas move silently through the vast expanse, constantly scanning for any sign of vulnerability. The moment prey reveals a weakness, the pack instantly closes the distance and launches an attack. Some chases end with the prey escaping, while others drag on until stamina fails. As the hyenas keep up the pressure, what determines the final outcome? For zebras, early detection of danger buys precious time to escape. Their sturdy bodies and long legs allow for speed and endurance, while powerful kicks serve as a defense against approaching predators. However, a leg injury compromises both speed and the ability to fight back. That unsteady gait inevitably draws the attention of a hyena pack. Spotting this vulnerability, the hyenas observe the animal before closing in from multiple directions. The zebra attempts to flee, but its injured leg slows it down and hinders its defensive kicking. The pack coordinates the pursuit, constantly cutting off escape routes and forcing the zebra to change direction until it can no longer maintain a safe distance. As the gap narrows beyond the point of escape, the zebra continues to run, but eventually loses its balance and falls. It struggles to rise and fight back, yet the leg injury renders its efforts futile against the closing circle of hyenas. The hunt concludes with the zebra becoming a meal for the pack, providing the energy needed to sustain their activities in the wild. While foraging, warthogs remain constantly alert to changes in their surroundings. Their ability to memorize the terrain allows them to quickly locate the path back to their burrow upon detecting danger. When reaching their shelter, they can back in rear first, keeping their heads and tusks facing outward for defense. Consequently, a warthog foraging far from its familiar burrow will frequently pause to observe and listen. During one such pause, the warthog detects a sound approaching from the darkness. A pack of hyenas has spotted the prey and is silently closing the distance. They suddenly accelerate, converging from multiple directions. The warthog is forced to flee, but turns to fight back when cornered. Its counterattack creates a brief opening, yet the hyenas stay on its tail, gradually wearing it down. As its strength wanes, the gap the warthog had created begins to close. It attempts to escape and fight back, but it no longer has the speed to evade the next assault. Ultimately, the hyenas bring down their prey, concluding the hunt. The warthog becomes a source of sustenance, providing the energy the pack needs to continue surviving. During migrations in search of water and fresh pastures, wildebeest typically travel in herds and react swiftly to danger. Adults can weigh between 265 and 640 pounds, boasting high shoulders, powerful necks, and curved horns used for defense when cornered. Within the herd, healthy adults are not easy targets. However, at the rear of the formation, a young wildebeest begins to lag behind, widening the gap between itself and the adults. This distance quickly places the youngster in peril. As hyenas approach, it accelerates toward the herd, but the predator's varied angles of attack force it to constantly change direction. The youngster turns to fend off the attackers before attempting to rejoin the herd. Each change of direction drains its energy, and the gap to the herd grows until the wildebeest becomes isolated. Isolation deprives the youngster of the safety found in numbers. It continues to run, seeking a way back to the herd and using its horns to defend itself when hyenas close in. But the prolonged chase causes its speed to falter. While the youngster grows increasingly exhausted, the hyena pack coordinates its pursuit, steadily closing the distance. Eventually, unable to run or defend itself effectively, it is brought down by the pack, and the hunt concludes. Once the hunt is over, the significance of group dynamics for both species becomes clear. Wildebeest are safer within the herd, which minimizes the risk of isolation. Conversely, hyenas rely on coordination to tackle large prey. In the wild, herd life offers a distinct advantage to wildebeest, while cooperation enables hyenas to hunt and survive. In the African savanna, lions typically live for 10 to 14 years in the wild. Their muscular bodies, particularly around the shoulders, neck, and forelegs, combined with powerful jaws, large canines, and sharp claws, enable them to hunt, hold, and subdue prey. After a successful hunt, this strength also allows them to defend their kill against other predators. However, as a lion stands guard over its hard-won meal, nearby hyenas often take notice. Before long, the hyenas begin to close the distance, causing the lion to shift from a state of rest to one of alertness. Aware of the risks, they do not approach immediately, but instead circle the lion, probing for a reaction. When a hyena ventures too close, the lion springs up, roaring a warning and charging to drive the intruder back. This tactic buys the lion a brief window to hold on to its food, but only temporarily. While the lion is occupied driving off hyenas in one direction, others approach from the opposite side, forcing the lion to constantly shift its position to fend them off. After repeated charges to keep them at bay, the lion can no longer secure the entire area. Eventually, it retreats, leaving the kill behind. At this point, the lion ceases its defense and voluntarily leaves the scene. The outcome of such confrontations between lions and hyenas depends heavily on the number of animals involved and the specific circumstances of the moment. The abandoned kill then serves as a vital source of nutrition, helping the hyenas replenish their energy after the struggle. The wild dog's remarkable strength lies in its pack-hunting instinct. They fan out, hold their positions, and constantly adjust to their teammates' movements. On the savanna, this coordination allows the pack to gradually control the space around their target. Now all attention shifts to a hyena standing beside its meal. From a distance, the pack of wild dogs advances toward the food, maintaining a spread-out formation and probing from multiple directions. The hyena immediately goes on alert, turning to survey the situation and preparing to defend its meal. Seconds later, the wild dogs suddenly accelerate. One group charges straight ahead, while others flank to the sides, creating pressure from multiple angles and forcing the hyena to react before the circle closes in. As the pack presses in, the hyena constantly pivots to fend off attacks coming from various directions. At one point, it lunges forward, forcing the wild dogs to scatter and creating a brief opening. However, this advantage vanishes quickly as the circle tightens once more. Overwhelmed by the pressure, the hyena is forced to abandon its meal and retreat. The wild dogs secure the meal, while the hyena retains something far more important: the chance to survive. Continuing to fight the entire pack would only increase the risk of injury, whereas other opportunities to forage lie ahead. In the wild, strength lies not only in combat prowess, but also in recognizing when to retreat in order to survive. Leopards typically hunt alone, relying on stealth, a silent approach, and short bursts of speed to capture prey. They possess keen observation skills and quick reflexes, often hoisting their kill into trees to minimize the risk of theft by other predators. In this instance, a leopard is feeding on the ground. The distant appearance of a hyena causes it to stop eating, lift its head, and monitor the approaching rival. Realizing the leopard is on guard, the hyena does not charge immediately, but keeps its distance, circling the area in search of an opening. The leopard stands close to its kill, tracking every movement. Tension mounts as the gap narrows to a critical distance. Suddenly, the hyena lunges. The leopard resists but is forced to retreat. The hyena seizes the food, bringing the brief standoff to an end. The calm is short-lived, however, as the leopard unexpectedly returns, charging the hyena to reclaim its meal. The hyena immediately counterattacks, and other hyenas quickly close in from multiple directions, forcing the leopard to back off and seek another opportunity. As the pressure intensifies and its options dwindle, the leopard is compelled to withdraw, leaving the food to the hyenas. With the leopard gone, the confrontation concludes. While quick reflexes allow a leopard to time its approach or retreat effectively, a prolonged face-off against multiple hyenas on the ground carries a high risk of injury. The remaining food provides the hyena pack with the energy needed to continue surviving in the wild. Few predators dare to approach a healthy, adult hippopotamus. Weighing between 1.3 and 3 tons, its massive frame, combined with a powerful neck and jaws, allows it to deliver dangerous charges and bites. In the wild, these animals can live for about 40 years and face almost no natural enemies once fully grown. However, that advantage holds true only while the animal remains strong. The hippo in the shallows is now visibly weakened by illness. Nearby, a pack of hyenas quickly spots the ailing hippo. Initially, they merely watch, but as they observe its sluggish attempts to rise, the gap between them begins to close. Suddenly, the hippo surges upward, turning to fight back and forcing the nearest hyenas to retreat. It briefly holds them at bay, but its strength is rapidly waning. Its remaining energy drains further with every attempt to stand and defend itself. The hyena pack intensifies the pressure. Meanwhile, the hippo's weakening body slows its reactions until it no longer has the strength to hold them off. Ultimately, the hippo succumbs. A massive animal that, in its weakened state, becomes a high-energy feast for the entire pack. As the savanna returns to quiet, these confrontations leave behind different outcomes for each species. For hyenas, their endurance, coordination, and ability to exploit an opponent's weaknesses enable the clan to seize feeding opportunities. Not every approach succeeds, nor does every confrontation need to be prolonged. In the wild, survival depends on the ability to recognize opportunities and act at the right moment. On the African savanna, the lion is regarded as a formidable predator, yet not every hunt ends in victory. When facing large, strong prey capable of fighting back, a single misstep can turn the tables. When raw power clashes with endurance, horns, hooves, and coordinated defense, what happens when the lion is forced to retreat? On the African savanna, wild dogs are distinguished by their pack hunting instincts and their ability to maintain relentless pressure. During a chase, they coordinate seamlessly, forcing their prey to constantly change direction and accelerate, rapidly draining its stamina before closing in for the kill. Energetic, persistent, and highly social, they rely on numbers, spacing, and agile maneuvering to counter a lion. A lion spots a pack of wild dogs resting and silently stalks toward them. Pausing to observe, it singles out an individual standing apart from the group and suddenly charges. The target barely has time to turn before being pinned down. Danger strikes instantly, but instead of fleeing, the remaining wild dogs immediately fan out to the flanks before circling back, repeatedly closing in to force the lion to shift its attention away from its captive. It is this moment of distraction that turns the tide. The lion turns to counterattack in one direction, only to be approached from the opposite side. As it pivots, the pack presses in close before darting just out of striking range. Amidst the maneuvering, the pinned dog breaks free and races toward its packmates, while the group's pressure compels the lion to retreat. As the lion begins to withdraw, the advantage shifts to the wild dogs. They protect their member through rapid reactions, maintaining safe distances and coordinating multi-directional pressure. The lion is forced to leave as the risk of injury rises. Faced with a more powerful adversary, well-timed coordination allows the entire pack to escape danger. The African rhinoceros is one of the largest animals on the savanna. Adults can weigh over 2 tons. They possess powerful necks, sturdy legs, heavy heads, and large horns used for defense when threatened. Rhinos do not hunt, but if danger draws too close, they can instantly turn and charge straight at their adversary to defend themselves. Facing a target weighing tons, a lion can only find an opportunity by keeping its distance and observing carefully. The lion stalks its prey, watching its movements before accelerating, attempting to close in from behind before the target can react. Just as the gap narrows, another rhino appears and charges, forcing the lion to halt its attack immediately. That moment leaves the lion facing a counterattack from the front. The targeted rhino immediately turns to face the predator, while the second rhino continues to advance at high speed, forcing the lion to dodge repeatedly to avoid a potentially devastating goring. With no opening left to close the distance, the lion slows down and retreats from the area. The lion continues to back away, abandoning any intention to resume the attack. The rhinos successfully repelled the threat through sheer physical power, rapid defensive reactions, and timely mutual support, forcing the lion to give up the hunt. Faced with the risk of serious injury, retreating was the safer choice. The African elephant is the largest living land animal. Adults can weigh over 6 tons. Their massive bodies, powerful legs, large heads, flexible trunks, and tusks enable them to effectively defend themselves when threatened. Beyond sheer strength, elephants possess excellent memories, learning capabilities, and complex social communication skills, making adult elephants extremely difficult targets to approach. An elephant represents a massive food source, but accessing it requires the pride to take significant risks. They silently stalk an elephant that has strayed from the herd, closing the gap before accelerating to approach from the rear. The elephant immediately wheels around and charges, using its colossal bulk and heavy legs to halt the attack. This forces the lions to scatter to the sides, breaking up their approach. Although pushed back, the lions continue to pursue the elephant as it retreats into shallow water. In the water, whenever they try to close the distance, the elephant turns to face them. Some retreat while others advance, yet none can hold a position long enough to launch an attack. The elephant shifts direction, forcing each predator to back off and causing every attempt to close in to fail. Opportunities to approach dwindle, forcing the lions to keep their distance rather than continuing into the water. Whenever a lion draws near, the elephant immediately turns to face it, preventing any of them from maintaining a safe attacking position. As the risk of injury rises and the tactical advantage slips away, the pride retreats and abandons the hunt. Across the vast African grasslands, buffalo live in herds, constantly monitoring their surroundings for any unusual movement. Upon spotting a predator, they may flee if a safe escape route exists, but they will turn to confront the threat if a member of the herd is cornered. With their massive bodies, powerful shoulders and necks, sturdy legs, and formidable horns, an adult buffalo represents both a prized meal and a target that is incredibly difficult to bring down. The nutritional value of an adult buffalo is significant enough to tempt a pride of lions into pursuing such a risky target. They stalk silently, patiently waiting for a buffalo to stray from the formation before suddenly accelerating to drive the target away from the herd. As soon as a gap opens, the nearest buffalo immediately wheel around, lower their horns, and charge, forcing the lions to scatter before they can complete their attack. Despite being repelled, the pride seeks another opportunity. They circle around to approach from a different angle, attempting to isolate a buffalo from the herd's protection. However, this time multiple buffalo advance together, repeatedly forcing the lions to change direction and retreat. As the opening closes and the risk of being gored rises, the lions lose the upper hand. Once the initiative is lost, the outcome becomes clear. The herd holds its formation, successfully protecting its members and forcing the lions to abandon the hunt after 2 failed attempts. The lions eventually leave the area empty-handed, while the buffalo move on together following the tense confrontation. From the savannas of East Africa to the scrublands and open woodlands of southern Africa, spotted hyenas are highly adaptable to diverse environments. They live in clans that can number dozens of members, yet they frequently split into smaller subgroups, regrouping based on food availability or the presence of rivals. This flexible organization allows them to react swiftly when a threat enters their territory. In this instance, the threat is a lion on the hunt. It pauses to survey the scene, deliberately chooses an approach path, and then suddenly accelerates toward the nearest hyena. That hyena instantly dodges aside, while the other clan members scatter, reposition, and rapidly close in on the lion from multiple directions. The lion wheels around to counterattack, lunging at the encroaching hyenas and forcing them to retreat. However, whenever it commits its strength in one direction, other hyenas immediately press in from the flanks and rear, compelling it to shift its focus. Besieged by pressure from all sides, the lion loses the initiative and is forced to withdraw. The hyena clan pursues it until it has left their territory. The outcome demonstrates that individual strength is not the sole factor determining the result of a confrontation. The ability to split up, regroup, and coordinate as a group allows hyenas to maintain an advantage over an opponent that would overpower them in a one-on-one fight. For the lion, retreating minimizes the risk of injury and brings an end to a situation that has turned disadvantageous. In Africa, savannas, open woodlands, and scrublands are the natural habitats of the giraffe. Their towering stature allows them to reach high-up food sources, while their long, powerful legs serve as a vital defense mechanism against danger. It is rare for an adult giraffe to be brought down. Any predator that ventures too close risks serious injury from the animal's powerful kicks. Despite the risks posed by these dangerous kicks, the promise of protein-rich meat drives lions to hunt them. They observe silently and fan out before suddenly accelerating, forcing the giraffe to constantly change direction within the herd as the gap rapidly closes. When a lion lunges from behind, the giraffe immediately delivers a powerful kick, breaking the initial approach. Following that counterattack, the pride continues to shadow the giraffe from multiple angles, seeking an opening. Whenever the lions close in, the giraffe accelerates, changes course, and kicks backward, preventing the predators from maintaining an attack position for long. After several failed attempts, the lions gradually slow down, while the giraffe begins to pull away. The distance widens until the pride eventually abandons the chase. The giraffe escapes thanks to its massive size, speed, and defensive capabilities, while the risk of injury prevents the lions from sustaining their pursuit. Through timely resistance, the giraffe ultimately breaks free from the hunt. In the rivers, lakes, and wetlands of sub-Saharan Africa, the hippopotamus is a massive and incredibly powerful animal. Its heavy build, large head, wide jaws, and long tusks provide effective defense against close-range threats. Although primarily herbivores, adult hippos react with lightning speed when approached, making any attempt to close the distance fraught with danger. Despite the ever-present risk of injury, a massive target like a hippo is tempting enough for a lion to consider an approach. The lion silently circles to the rear, patiently watching every movement before suddenly accelerating while the hippo is resting. However, no sooner has the attack begun than the hippo springs up, pivots to face the lion, and charges, instantly turning the tables. The lion dodges to the side, but the hippo does not stop. It opens its jaws wide and continues to press the attack, forcing the lion to constantly change direction to avoid a close-range bite. The lion attempts one more approach, but the hippo keeps advancing. Left with no safe position to maintain the attack, the lion is forced to flee the area. The lion continues to widen the gap until it abandons any intention of returning to the fight. The hippo's massive size, powerful jaws, and fierce defensive response successfully drove the opponent away, while the lion wisely gave up the prey before the risk of injury escalated. For a predator, knowing when to stop is a crucial decision for survival and future hunting. In sparsely vegetated areas and harsh climates, the honey badger consistently emerges as the dominant individual. It doesn't need superior speed or size to gain an advantage. The difference lies in its ability to maintain this advantage throughout the confrontation. The honey badger doesn't need to gain dominance immediately, but rather to sustain it over time. On the dry grasslands, the honey badger moves with a slow but steady pace. Its body, weighing only about 35 pounds, is enough to make other species wary. It doesn't rely on speed, but survives through endurance and resilience beyond limits. Its thick, loose skin reduces the impact of resistance, while its strong forelimbs and long claws allow it to quickly dig through the soil to reveal prey hidden beneath. Its strong jaws handle a variety of food sources, and in harsh environments, it continues its search without stopping, The difference lies in its reaction. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't retreat. It always tries and keeps moving forward. In nature, the survivor is often the most persistent. Amidst the low grass, a venomous snake lies motionless, its body approximately 4 to 6 feet long, its head slightly raised to track its target. It senses vibrations acutely and maintains precise distance. Its attack speed can reach approximately 0.3 seconds, with enough reach to strike its target before it can react. The venom is delivered through 2 hollow fangs, potent enough to quickly affect the prey's body. When the honey badger enters the danger zone, the snake immediately adjusts its head angle and delivers a swift bite. After each attack, it retreats to a safe position and is ready to repeat when the distance is suitable. The snake's hunting instinct focuses on precision and timing, not wasting energy on unnecessary blows. The honey badger continues to advance. It actively enters the danger zone, accepting the risk rather than completely avoiding the attack. Its body possesses a certain degree of venom resistance, allowing it to remain active after being affected. Through several attempts to approach, it controlled the distance and gained the upper hand. Ultimately, the honey badger was the one that held the initiative and ended the confrontation. A pack of predators appears, hyenas possessing a bite force of nearly 1,100 pounds per square inch. They emit a constant roar and move in circles to create pressure from the outset. Instead of attacking immediately, they maintain distance and force the target to react repeatedly. The pressure gradually increases. One hyena approaches, then retreats, then another takes its place. This approach is repeated several times to test the target's reaction and find weaknesses. When the distance is close enough, they are ready to take control. The honey badger maintains its position but must react constantly. It turns in every direction, keeping its rear hidden and focusing on the nearest individual. When the distance becomes dangerous, it actively breaks through the approach and retreats immediately, then returns to a more advantageous position. After several attempts to get close, the hyena pack fails to establish clear control. The pressure gradually decreases, and they leave the area. In nature, you don't need to win. Simply not being controlled is enough to survive. In the open, the lion's presence quickly alters the surrounding rhythm. This predator relies on observation, stealthy approach, and explosive bursts of speed at short distances. With a body weight exceeding 400 pounds and powerful thrust from its hind legs, It controls the situation through timing and pressure. When facing a small honey badger, the lion doesn't rush to attack. It maintains distance, constantly adjusting its position and waiting for the right moment. Its hunting instinct forces it to calculate, as every wrong decision can waste unnecessary energy. The honey badger continues to advance. It doesn't change direction, doesn't slow down, and constantly rotates to keep its opponent under control. This stability creates counter-pressure, forcing the lion to turn and flee. The situation changes. The lion doesn't continue to approach. It stops to avoid further energy expenditure and reduce the risk of injury. The honey badger maintains its position and doesn't retreat. In nature, a confrontation can end when one side no longer has a clear advantage. In the open space, the pack of wild dogs moves at a steady pace, each weighing approximately 40 to 55 pounds, maintaining a reasonable distance and constantly adjusting their position. They approach their prey with close coordination, maintaining high speed and clearly dividing roles throughout the hunt. Upon spotting the honey badger, the pack begins to assess its reaction. Several individuals approach to exert pressure, while others maintain distance and wait for the opportune moment. They don't attack continuously, but repeat short approaches to find weaknesses. The honey badger stands firm. It turns in each direction of movement, always keeping its opponent in front and leaving no gap behind. There are no superfluous actions, only constant adjustments to avoid being surrounded. After several attempts, the pack of dogs finds no clear opportunity. They reduce the frequency of their approaches and gradually withdraw from the area. The honey badger continues to move at a steady pace. In nature, a group of predators may stop when the risks outweigh the benefits. In the open space, a reptile predator appears, its body approximately 5 to 7 feet long, moving low to the ground and always keeping its head straight forward. The monitor lizard can accelerate quickly over short distances, enough to close in before its opponent can react. Thanks to its agility and high adaptability, it can confront many prey and survive in various harsh environments. When the honey badger approaches, the monitor lizard begins to react. When the distance is close enough, it uses its jaws to hold on and try to control the opponent. Each counterattack aims to push the opponent out of a favorable position. The honey badger does not retreat. It approaches at a low angle, avoiding the mouth area and focusing on the tail, the less dangerous area. It maintains constant pressure, advancing and then retreating slightly, repeating this many times. The events show that both rely on clear tactics. The monitor lizard controls with its tail and jaws, while the honey badger breaks the distance and maintains pressure. Through each confrontation, the honey badger's approach remains unchanged. Maintain position, sustain pressure, and avoid being controlled. Each opponent has its own tactics, but all must adjust when they don't have a clear advantage. The difference lies in the ability to maintain stability throughout the process. The honey badger doesn't need to finish quickly, but prolongs the fight until an opportunity arises.